We're going me first now, are we?
Yeah, we don't want him having an advantage.
Okay.
We want to see you get aggressive with your answers.
I'm going to push these lifelines, I think. I'm going to try and get to 32 without them. And then let's push it for the
no
£1 million.
guarantee they'll tell you.
I like how you think we'll be helped by the time you get to 32,000.
I'm not sure how much help I'll be past the £100,000.
I'm anticipating, like a kaiju type question or another body shop question or something like that.
The only body shop question's just been, so...
Yeah, we're not allowed to mention body shop anymore. We've done the one comment per episode on it. Okay, question number 1. Easy one for you. Which faction has the most actions? Princesses, Avengers, Kaiju, or Vigilantes?
I was getting worried then when it was... No, it's unique actions, just the most
Sorry,
actions.
no, just the most actions.
Right. I was getting worried then when I saw Princesses and then followed by Avengers. But it's got to be Kaiju. They've only got 3 minions. So I'm going to say C, final answer.
You sure?
There's your Kaiju question.
It's locked in, final answer.
Yeah, locked in. Well done, yeah. That was your one Kaiju question. The rest are all difficult.
There's not a There Goes Tokyo question then.
I thought about putting one in, but no, actually this one should have been number 1, but okay. Which faction is based on the Star Trek franchise? Star Roamers, Astronauts, Wizards, or Time Travelers?
That's A, Star Roamers, final answer.
That is correct. £200. Easy. Which was the 3rd expansion to be released? It's Your Fault, the obligatory Cthulhu set, Awesome Level 9000, or Science Fiction Double Feature?
Can I just say that these questions were easier than mine? Am I allowed to say that out? Yeah.
Do you think this one's easy? Would you know the answer to this one?
This is an easy. I do know the answer to this
So
one.
Awesome Level 9000 was the first one. You're not saying the core set is an expansion, are you? You're saying the core set. At least 3 sets on from the core set.
3rd expansion to be released.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that's Science Fiction Double Feature. So I think it went Awesome Level 9000, Cthulhu, Science Fiction, and then something else. So I'm going to say D, final answer.
Yeah, well done. That was right. Did you get that one, Lee?
I was hoping that he'd get tripped up. I was obviously giving him no credit for it, but hoping he'd get tripped up and go with Cthulhu as the 3rd release rather than the expansion release.
Yeah, that's
the way he worded the question might have got him there.
It was throwing me a bit.
The core set wasn't an expansion, was it? So.
Well, some people call it an expansion, don't they?
Just because they're all
technically expand on nothing,
aren't they? But no, that's true. Well, you can.
Which of these factions was not in the expansion Cease and Desist? Star Roamers, Time Travelers, Ignobles, or Astronauts?
And this is the £500 question.
Quite an easy one, to be honest.
Yeah, so Cease and Desist was the that was the science, basically the sciencey. They were doing spin-offs of all the science fiction sort of stuff. So Astronauts were
that Science Fiction Double Feature.
Yeah, again. So Star Roamer, Star Trek, Ignobles, Game of Thrones, Astronauts were the Star Wars, and Time Travelers is Doctor Who. But I'm pretty sure it was Time Travelers with Science Fiction Double Feature, because it was the Apes, Super Spies, and I'm pretty sure Time Travelers were in there. We're not in the expansion Cease and Desist. Yeah, because Time Walk would have won if it was Time Travelers. I'm thinking back to Lee's questions here, and Solar Shout was the winner of the Cease and Desist one. So I'm going to say B, Time Travelers. I'm going the metagame here.
What a cheater! Thinking back to Lee's questions here.
Because you got the Cease and Desist winner. So, and that was Solar Shout. So it's definitely, if Time Travelers were in it, Time Walk would have won it. So I'm going to say B, Time Travelers, not being the Cease and Desist.
Final answer?
Yes. Final answer.
Yes, you are correct.
That was a tough one, though. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it was.
Because they were all themed, so
yeah,
they were all themed together.
it was a good one to put in there because of the Doctor Who reference for the time
Yeah.
travelers, because it was still space related, even though the other ones were very space heavy. Yeah, that was a difficult question.
Okay, question 5 for £1,000 and your first safety net. And this one you should know. I mean, you did a video on it. Which of these cards was the second seed for the Mounties in the best card in Smash Up series? Mountie Major, Dudley, Power Poutine, or Air?
What an easy question for 1,000.
So we put in as the first seed, absolutely scandalously, because you guys wanted it in as number 1. I mean, it's got to be Mountie Major, right? Because the other two, I don't even think the other two made any of our lists. Yeah, I think I'm going to go A, Mountie Major, because I don't think the other two were even close. I think we were struggling. I think we were struggling with Mounties to even get 3. So I'm going to say Mountie Major. Fine Mountie.
Yeah, well done.
You did well to remember that A was number 1
A.
there.
I
Because
remembered that A was 1. I remembered that A was 1 because I remember how annoyed he was at you and I for putting A down at 1.
He didn't have it in his top 3, did he?
No.
he had it in his list of worst cards in Smash Up.
Question 6.
Did you have a browser open as well? Is that the problem?
Which of these cards has multiple special abilities? Shinobi, the Kraken, Yokozuna, or Death on 6 Legs?
Multiple special abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So the word special in them, or just multiple abilities?
Multiple special abilities.
Multiple special abilities. So Shinobi's got 1. Yokozuna doesn't have any specials. Death on 6 Legs has a talent, and I don't think it has more than 1 special. So the Kraken must have a special. I think the Kraken has a special to come into play, because you have to say release the Kraken. And then is the other one a special?
Is that how you say it? You got to say it. You got to give it a little bit.
Release the Kraken.
That's
I think you need it a bit louder, don't you?
Has multiple special abilities. So just to confirm, you don't mean like ongoing and talents and other things like that. You just mean special keyword.
All the information is in the question.
Big fan of that answer, David. Big fan of that answer.
I'm like 90% that it's B, but I feel I should probably use a lifeline here just to cross this bridge. Who out of Luke or Lee would know this? I would be more confident on this.
It's a good question, mate.
Would be more confident.
I'm gonna phone a friend and I'm gonna phone Lee.
And for Lee.
Don't let me down here, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, you could have asked the person who plays pirates and giant.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But if you want to ask Lee,
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot all about
too
that.
late
First.
too late now.
Yeah, but
Too late.
Lee was presumably in all your games as well.
I think I've got you. I think
Is he going to tell you the truth?
The question is, do we really understand what the question means? Because I'm trying to get my head around it as well at the same as you are. More special abilities. So I'm taking it as you are, I think, and I'm suggesting that it should say special at least once on the card to be able to.
It's got to be at least twice.
The one with more of them. Well, I know that Death on 6 Legs only has 1 special, and I think the Kraken has 2. And I don't think Shinobi or Yokozuna would fall into that. Is that what you were thinking? Were you thinking the Kraken as well?
Yeah, I don't know what its actual specials are though. I know it's special to come into play, but then what does its other special do?
I feel like it's got a couple of different things that it can do. I feel like it's like a special when the base scores type of special, and a special when you've moved it kind of special. I feel like it's got both of those things in there. Doesn't it act a little bit like
a first mate, maybe?
A first mate, yeah. So when
Yeah.
the base breaks, that you can move the power or the minions to somewhere else. I feel like that's the other special that it's got.
Yeah, I think Shinobi has one. Yokozuna doesn't have any. Death on Six Legs has a
One.
talent, so at most it has one.
I think it's got a special as well. I think it does have a special.
And even if I don't know what the Kraken does, by process of elimination, it must have more than one special.
I feel
If
like
you've understood the question.
Yeah, and I
feel-
would blame the Quizmaster if that's not the case for a shockingly
Don't blame
worded
the
question.
Quizmaster. If you misunderstand it, that's your problem, not mine.
Which of these cards has multiple special abilities? Yeah. So you think
I
it's the
think-
Kraken as well?
I think the Kraken has at least two. The two that I can think of, and I think everything else has 1 or 0 in that list.
Yeah, let's lock it in. B, final answer.
What does our pirate expert think?
I think it's Kraken as well.
Release the Kraken!
He has
No, that's a tough
specials
one.
come into play, and you can move him regularly. I think it's something like when you play a minion or someone plays a minion, you can move to that base or something to that effect. Could be
Yeah.
wrong. You end up moving him a lot.
Titans
So
are
something to do
definitely my weak
when a
point.
base scores. Is that how you play him
When it scores, you can bring him in.
Yeah.
by
if you-
saying
if you-
release the Kraken?
Mm.
Yeah, if you play 2 Titans, you can essentially alternate, swing them in and out. If you break the base with your Titan on, then that comes in. And then
yeah.
All right, question 7. What did you just say, Mark? What wasn't
Titan-
your strong point?
The Titans aren't really my strong point.
Have a guess what question 7's about.
Oh, here we go. Switching the questions around.
Yes, come on.
What is the name of the Titan for the Itty
okay.
Critters faction?
I know this one though.
Easy.
Very large
Easy
boulder.
question.
Rainbow Rock, the hill that strolls, or Big Funny Giant?
Well, I very recently sleeved this expansion, so I know it's B, Rainbow Rock. Final answer.
Also, thinking back to my questions, we just had one about the hill.
Yeah, well, Matt referred to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think you were going to ask that question, though, did I? It was Rainbow Rock, yeah. Well done. Is that
No
the
more
answer?
Titan questions then, please.
No more Titan question. Okay. How good are you
Lee
on the
has made a
road?
faction. Lee has made a faction. What's the name of the Titan in that faction?
Think of a Titan, which one is it? Yeah. We're really Titans for now, but we might come back to them.
I'd really, really like that to be his £1 million question. I am thinking of a Titan. Which one?
No. How good are you on rules?
No, well, I mean that just.
Oh, he's a rules guy.
I don't know if anyone's really very good on like smash up rules. They're so vast and complex.
Well, let's
But
find
let's
out.
see it. Yeah, let's find out.
A player has 2 polar commandos on the same base as a nuke bot. If nuke bot is destroyed, what happens to the polar commandos? Neither is destroyed. They are both destroyed. One is destroyed. Game error, restart the game.
Oh, what a horrible question.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not D. So I can remove D from the equation.
You've been playing it wrong then.
Turn it off and on again.
That's what you do
So
with the
why-
problem, isn't it?
So Polar Commando is immune when there's only one Polar Commando there, or when there's only one minion there. So if you've got 2 Polar Commandos there, neither are immune. So surely they would both be destroyed. Because I think the mass destruction effects happen and affect all of them at the same time. So I would assume it's B. They're both destroyed.
Is that your
Thank you.
final answer?
And if you get this question wrong, you might get some flames in the comments from Rule Sharks.
I'm right. I don't think you're right, but yeah, we'll see.
So neither will be destroyed. So I don't think that's the case because Polar Commando has to be the only minion at the base for +2 power and immunity. So it's not A, not D. But why would one be destroyed? So I think it's B. No, they're both destroyed.
Final
I'm gonna-
answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna chance not using 50-50 or the other lifeline here, and I'm just going to say B, final answer.
What do you guys think? Think he's right or wrong?
I agree.
I think he's right.
I think it's the technicality because they're all there together and it's applied instantaneously.
He is right,
Yeah, that made the most sense.
yeah. Yeah, mass disruption happens at the same time.
That was a hard question again. The hardest part of
But
it
you
is
could
remembering
instantly
exactly
get to
what Polar
50-50.
Commando does, isn't it?
But you could instantly get to 50-50 on that question.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think the 50-50 would be?
Yeah.
Yeah, hence not using the lifeline yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
What is Captain America's ability?
Oh.
Move this character and up to one other of your characters here to another base. Give each of your other characters currently here +1 power until the end of the turn. You may destroy a character here with power 5 or less. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. You played much Marvel Smash Up?
Only with you.
It's ridiculous that we've got Marvel
Were
questions in this.
Were the Avengers? I think the Avengers were in that game.
I think they were, yeah.
I'm fairly sure on this. So D is Hawkeye. Just draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Hawkeye. C is Black Widow, because I remember Black Widow being basically Ninja Master. Move this
Looks like
character.
Mark's reading some notes there, doesn't he? Looks like Mark's reading a load of notes there.
There's nothing going on down here. A and B. Give one each of your other characters here +1 power until your turn. Move this character up to one of your other characters here to another base. So you've got Black Widow and Hawkeye have gone. Hulk is just game power. Thor is to do with Mjolnir, the hammer. So that just leaves Captain America and Iron Man. And I feel like Iron Man's special action has something to do with movement. And I suppose it would make sense with Iron Man being able to fly. So I think Iron Man is A. So I
We give him
think
technology to give him more power?
give him, but not other characters there.
No?
So
I don't think the Quizmaster's meant to get in the way of his training.
yeah, I feel like I'm being
He
led
never
down a
just threw
certain
him off
path
the
here.
trail.
Up to you.
I'm feeling a lot of bias coming from this Quizmaster.
Yeah, get him.
I have a feeling I feel like this would be a solid one to ask Luke on, but I'm like 85%. Like I'm pretty close to it being B, and I don't want to waste the lifeline on this when I'm
Go 50-50?
when I'm fairly certain. No, because I think you just get rid of C and D, and I think you just leave me with A and B anyway. So, given how you've been trying to get me already, so I'm gonna go B. Final answer.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct, yeah.
It was a good elimination, good process of elimination.
Yeah, I was thinking about asking Luke, but it felt like a bit of a waste. That
I would have said B, but I wasn't more confident than you were.
Okay. Let's see if you can do this other rule question.
not another rule question. Hit me with all the rule questions.
The only
It's to
minion
do with
player
dancing,
is a Mimic. If a player plays a Night Stalker on Mimic's base, can they choose to destroy the Mimic?
Right? Can I just say
Or
this question came up on the Reddit very recently, and
Did it?
the answer on the Reddit was inconclusive.
I don't know about the Reddit.
I am a fan of this then.
Yeah, it was inconclusive because there's no timing for ongoings when ongoings come into play, which is why
On what I read, there wasn't.
inconclusive. So I now have to try and make a guess as to what you've read, because I think you just have to house rule this if it came up.
No, I don't think you would.
The only minion player is a mimic. The player plays a Night Stalker in Mimic space. Can they choose to destroy the mimic? Can they choose to destroy the mimic? Because no, but
That's the question.
no and yes, but mimic is not destroyed, and feel very similar. No Night Stalker can't destroy minions. Well, I know it's not B because Night Stalker can destroy minions. Power 2 minions, I think. How much help would Luke be here? He's got that look
I think it'd be a lot of help.
He's got that look of don't ask me this question. So I think the answer came up as inconclusive, and I think most people are leaning more towards no, that Mimic can't be destroyed, because the power would change at the exact same time as Night Stalker comes into play, which is where I'm getting confused with C. Players can they choose? So they can choose to destroy it, but they wouldn't be able to destroy it. So A and C feel very. This feels like such a trap.
I said traps on here.
Why don't you go 50-50?
Because I know what's going to happen with A and C. I want to go 50-50, and it's probably going to leave me with A and C though. No, I'd be no better off. Go on, let's go 50-50, David. And
You want
don't
50-50?
Don't shaft me here, please.
The answers left are A and C.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I feel like you could have seen that coming.
Yeah, but when Lee is 50-50, you got a favourable result. So if Mimic's the only minion in play, it's power 0. So if someone tries to play Night Stalker, they can target it, and I don't think they destroy it. So I'm gonna say this is a shocking question, absolutely horrendous question.
I disagree. I think it's quite an easy. I don't.
You're going to say easy then, and then you backed out because it's definitely not.
I'll have to send you the Reddit link
easy,
after
but I
this.
think it.
So I'm gonna say C, because I assume that the Night Stalker can target the Mimic because it's 0 power. It's just as soon as Night Stalker comes into play, Mimic changes power and then it's no longer destroyed. So that's what I'm gonna go with, because I've only got A and C, and in both situations the Mimic can't be destroyed, but I think it can be targeted. So I'm gonna say C, final answer, and berate you for how bad this question was.
That's incorrect.
No.
No, because ongoing passives come into play before active ones.
That's going to be a highly contentious one in the comments.
I have to say, I disagree with that. I have to say,
Yeah.
personally, the person playing the card should resolve that card before the other card has a chance to catch up to it. So I personally think
I would agree with other active ones, but I think ongoing
Drink,
passives get
Can I ask a question?
That, Mark. That's a tough beat. That
If it's 0 power though, you can target it though, right? You can target Mimic with.
But
Night
the
Stalker.
ongoing happens before, so it becomes 4 power. So then you can't target it because Night Stalker can only destroy a minion of power 2 or less.
I guess in the role of playing, you play the card. It's 4 power played down.
Yeah, and then you
Mimic
say, "I'm going to use that."
increases, and then you use the ability. Maybe, I don't know. That's a contentious question. That I would say.
Yeah, I was on a roll then as well.
I have a question. What's Night Stalker? Is it a Marvel? Is it a Marvel card?
No, it's
No,
from
it's a
Vampire.
vampire.
The vampire card.
Oh god, vampire
I'm
card.
glad you didn't ask Luke.
Oh god, I've
it's a
immediately
vampire.
evaporated all vampire cards references from my brain. So if they come up in mine, I'm in trouble.
I believe it targets a power 2 or less for destruction to add a power counter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the contention, but it's a power 4. But the contention is when you play it, Mimic technically becomes a power 4.
Yeah.
And I think they can just choose to destroy it or try to destroy it. They can choose it.
If we were
They can
playing a
target
game,
it.
if
Because
we were
it's
playing a
powerful,
game and
it
you were
becomes
playing
powerful.
vampires, if we were playing a game and you were playing vampires, I'd allow it. I would allow you to play that card and destroy the Mimic, because before the card is played, the Mimic is a 0. And to me, when I start my turn, everything is fixed, and then when I play my card down, that's when things start happening.
Go on, let's see the
And
next question.
The order
Just
should
in
be resolved
just
in
in
that way.
just in case it all kicks off in the comments and it's turns out this is overwritten somehow. Should we carry on just for fun?
I'm
let's
happy
carry-
for Mark to,
carry-
I'm
let's see
happy
the
for
next
Mark to
question.
keep going.
Yeah, I want to
I'm
see.
happy for Mark to
Mark's
keep
out
going
with 1,000.
if we can
Mark's
accept
out with
that me and
1,000.
Mark tied on 1,000.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I got
accept
32.
it.
I'm on 32.
And I can
aren't
just pull out. I can just pull out on.
No, this is the
2,000.
question to get to
But you're not
32.
allowed to pull out.
I'm allowed to pull out. on
No, you're not allowed to
2,000
pull out.
and win the prize.
If you pull out, you get 0. You lose.
Go on, let's see the next question.
Well done, Mark. That was right, even though it wasn't. Oh, question 11
Yeah,
for
let's see how.
64,000. How many factions have been released to date? 82, 83, 84, or 85?
I'm a big
I mean,
fan
they're-
of. I'm a big
they're
fan
all
of how
close
close those numbers are. Oh, I'm a real big fan. Real big fan of that.
Should have seen the question I was going to have first
Uh,
before I change it to this.
I
How
do
many
think
cards have been released?
Oh God,
the
can't.
cards
Well,
have been released.
you'd have to work out number of factions. Oh no, because bases. Oh God.
And Titans.
See, I-
That's horrendous.
I do think I know this. So I always have the number 66 in my head because 66 is the number of factions without Munchkin. So if you add Munchkin, it's 74, and then
Okay.
I don't have Marvel, which is 8 more, so that's 82, and I don't have Goblins, which is 1 more, 83. So I would say 83 for this. And that
Where
would-
did you get the 66 from?
So 66 is just the number I have in my head because I don't have Munchkin, which is
Right.
8 factions. So 66 is the number of. A while ago, 66 was the number of factions without Munchkin, and then they added Marvel, which took another. So 66 to 74 with Munchkin. Marvel was another 8, so 74 to 82, and then plus Goblins 83. So I would say 83 here.
Is that your final answer?
I think it's 84.
If I was still in, that would have been my final answer. Yeah.
Well, I think we're playing that you're still in, aren't we?
Oh,
Is that?
Oh
because
no,
that
he's out.
question-
He's out.
Oh, he's out.
He's
Oh,
out.
he's out.
But just,
Okay.
on the off chance that the question is conclusively proven incorrect, we'll find out how far he would have got.
Right. Okay. So the answer is 83. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
66
That's good.
plus 16.
Yeah.
plus
It's,
the
I
one.
think it was because on one of my videos I'd used 66 to work out some of the numbers, and that was end of last year, I think.
Now we're getting into the difficult questions.
Oh, hold on, we've had that ruling question. That was
Yeah.
That was absolutely minefield.
That wasn't difficult. You just didn't know the rule. Question 11, I think. What was the original name for Smash Up? Was it Smash Up? Was it Smash? Was it Pirate Ninjas Zombies Robots? Or was it Aliens Zombies Wizards Robots?
Oh dear, oh dear. So it's not A and B. I know that. Because they made 4 factions. Yeah, and I knew that zombies featured in it, but that obviously doesn't help. She put them in both.
What a shame that was.
I feel like it was. I have a feeling it was Pirate Ninja Zombies Robot, because I think it would just used consonants rather. I don't think it had any vowels in the name. I mean, I don't think Luke would have any idea on this. And I know had I used 50-50 on this one, I would have been left with C and D. I would say C would be my guess, because I have a feeling that pirates were in it.
Not aliens. Or wizards.
No, I think it was something to do with the fact that it was called PNRZ or something like that. It had a load of consonants in it, so I would say C.
Yeah, you're right. It was PNZR, was what we called it.
Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive knowledge. I would have had no idea.
it's trivia right there.
I actually think I've heard that name. I feel like I've heard that name when we first started playing this. When you brought it round, Luke, on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, all those years ago. I feel like I heard that name when I started looking up the game itself.
I think it's on the. It might be on the wiki page, the Corset
Yeah,
wiki
I think it
page.
is. I think that's where I've seen it because it rolls off the tongue a little bit more than the other one does, which I think makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, well done. 125,000. Question 13 is for 250. Excluding the core set, which of the best cards in Smash Up series episodes had the longest video?
What is this question?
Big in Japan, round 1 champion of champions, cease and desist, or it's your fault?
What is this?
Didn't you make these videos?
Wow, yeah, I just had to.
Didn't you edit them all as well?
Yeah.
I had to sit through whilst they all like rendered.
So which one was the longest to render?
Right, go on. I'm gonna throw
have-
this. I'm gonna have to throw this over to Luke immediately.
Well, logic dictates that it's your fault, the one with sharks and stuff
It's dragons.
and dragons. So
Yeah.
that was that was an extended bracket. It was a 16 card bracket. So in theory, that should be up there. Champion of Champions, we split. We all agreed fairly easily on a lot of things, and then we had an easy audience tiebreak. Big in Japan, we argued about There Goes Tokyo for a while at the end.
Yeah, that was a long one.
That was quite long. And which one, Cease and Desist? What won that? Solar Shout.
Charger bots.
Yeah.
Solar Shout.
That must have been
Yeah,
Soul
so-
Shout, yeah.
I don't feel like that was that long. I feel like we agreed on a lot of things. I would say it's your fault instinctually because it was an extended bracket. And I think we debated Wyvern and whatever was in the final for a while.
Yeah. It was Odysseus v Great Worm in the final. It was a really close one.
I think that's probably the longest, but Big in Japan's only 4 sets, but we argued about there's only There Goes Tokyo throwing me on Big in Japan, and round 1 Champion of Champions. I know there was 4 of us in that, so in theory there's a longer time count because there's an extra person.
And the 8 pairings, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So my logic would say it's your fault.
Yeah, I think they're all over an hour, but I think you're right because we did It's Your Fault at Christmas, didn't we? And I remember that being comfortably more than an hour and a half. I think maybe even like pushing 2 hours was It's Your Fault.
I remember it was so long we didn't do it again.
We didn't do the 16.
For the 5 card
Yeah, that's-
expansion, we didn't do that again.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think I agree with that, with your logic. I would go with D. I would go with It's Your Fault.
Lee, what do you think?
I was going to say that sensible logic. I have to say I was almost swayed, but I do think our Big in Japan argument lasted for a whole video on
It
just
did last a while.
just on There Goes Tokyo, and I seem to feel like we reset that video more times than we did anything else. Cease and Desist was quick. I remember it was really quite comfortable. In fact, I think we agreed on every single choice all the way through. The one that we're not really spending a lot of time talking about is the Champion of Champions, and with 4 people, like you say, we gave each card a bit more of a time. My gut says Big in Japan, but my gut's been pretty wrong tonight, so
I would count out C. I think C is definitely the shortest.
I agree. And Luke's logic, I think, is about as good as you're going to get with this. I think going with It's Your Fault is about as logical as you can go with.
I think It's Your Fault, as well as the court. So It's Your Fault and Corset had the most pairings out of any of them in one video. So I'm pretty sure it's...
I remember it was so big we changed the way that we paired it up. I think that was...
Yeah. So yeah, I think that logic would be D.
Final answer?
Yeah, that would have been my final answer.
Yeah, well done, your logic worked.
Oh, nice.
The issue with Big in Japan was that, you argued about that, but that was the only thing you argued about.
Yeah, everything else.
Everything else, you all agreed.
I thought there was a big discussion about the Rainbow Rock as well, and the King. Was it iTunes?
Lunar
Is
Captain?
that what we're talking about?
Lunar Captain?
No, I don't remember talking much about Lunar Captain. I remember talking about the King Minion from the Pokemon faction, but that
Critter
was
Champion?
again, yeah, it was Critter Champion we were talking about, wasn't it?
Mm. Yeah, that was we spent ages on Critter Champion v There Goes Tokyo. That was the big. We spent
Yeah,
about
that
half an
was-
hour on that.
That's why I remember talking about it. Because,
Oh, yeah.
'cause- yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
right, David. I apologise. It was literally just that we were talking about.
Yeah, and that was all you talked about for the whole video, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
It was a
But
it was a
they're
good
all-
good curveball to chuck in there.
Yeah.
I was struggling because I remembered how long we debated that one for.
Mm.
I think it felt a lot longer because we were just completely exacerbated by the end of it.
Yeah, they were the 4 longest episodes, though.
Really?
Excuse me.
Season
Is it
six?
really that long?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of fairly even matchups in season to start.
Oh, I'll
Yeah,
tell
because
you
we
what,
went with
though,
no. We had no
It was-
favourites, did we?
it was the discussion on Solar Shout basically being a poor man's
Archmage, yeah.
Archmage.
Yeah.
And that's what caused a bit more discussion because we realised how good Solar Shout actually was.
I think it was also an early one you did, wasn't it? So you maybe weren't as
Yeah,
fine-tuned on what you were doing with it.
And
we
we did
argued
it-
a lot more early on.
Yeah.
we did it after the Killer Plants fiasco where we'd basically messed up the recording, so we wanted to make sure we got it right. So it probably took us a while
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense.
A
Question
little
number
peek behind the curtain for all you
Yeah.
viewers out there.
Woo!
Question 14. On the card, Tale as Old as Time, how many dancing couples are there?
Oh my
1, 2, 8, or 9?
Oh my
I'd t-
god!
If you were still going, Mark, I would have taken money.
No.
What do you think the card is?
Yeah, it's a princess's card.
You like the princesses, don't you?
I do.
Get him.
And it's in the card art is just a ballroom. How many couples? I would have said 3, but that's obviously not an option. I think there's one at the foreground. I think there's 2 in the back.
Well, I can tell you that's incorrect.
Yeah. So is it 2? Or
I have also looked the card up.
Is it,
I'm gonna look the card up as well.
or is it just 1 at the front?
If you're watching at home, feel free to look the card up.
I don't think it's 8 or 9. That seems a lot, especially with princesses only having 6. That seems a lot. So I would just guess at 2 for this one, but with very little confidence.
You guess at 2.
Yeah, it would be a complete stab in the dark really on this.
So there's no foreground picture, it's just 2 couples.
Well, I think, as I say, I think the image is just literally a ballroom. It's just a dance floor. Maybe there's like tables at the back or something.
No, it's actually 9. The
9.
tables I think you're thinking of are 8 dancing couples around the main couple in the foreground.
Wow, I'm gonna have to have a look at this card.
It's 9. Are you sure?
I can only count 8.
I only counted 8.
I'm pretty sure it's 8 in the background, then 1 in the
Can I have a look?
foreground.
One,
pretty sure it
2,
was.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm only
Definitely
counting 8,
eight.
8 couples. There's definitely only 8 couples there.
Definitely 8. There's one right at the bottom. There's one to the left above the action.
You're not counting that as 2, are you? In the very, very bottom. That's 1 couple. 1,
Wow.
2.
Attempt to show the card to anyone.
6, 7, 8.
Three at the
Definitely.
back, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 at the front. 1 in
7
the
around
middle.
the 7 around the outside and 1
2,
in the middle.
Yeah, you're right. I counted the bottom ones twice.
Well, did
yeah.
you say 2? Did you say 2 anyway, Matt?
I said
Yeah,
8.
he got it right. He got it wrong anyway.
You said
yeah.
8.
I said 8.
You
Yeah.
said 8.
Oh, you
No, I
did.
said
You said 2. Shut your
He
mouth.
didn't.
I am only counting 8 on there though,
Snake. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's 8.
counted the bottom one twice. Yeah.
and it's. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't even really know if the one at the bottom there is actually dancing.
Don't try and pull a technicality. You said 2.
No more than 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
I was
remember the
picturing.
card.
I think I was picturing happily ever after anyway, so I would have said 1. There's one where is it happily ever after?
Yeah,
There's one where it's just one
Oop.
couple.
That's a really good
Yeah,
question.
I was thinking of that.
Yeah.
What, have you got all the cards in front of you, Mark?
Well, I went to go and get
Oh.
He
that
got
one.
that fast, didn't he?
Ooh.
He got
was
that one
maybe-
quickly, didn't he?
I think I might have been getting mixed up with that one as well, in fairness. True Love's Kiss.
They're not dancing.
Go on then, what would the £1 million question have been?
You want to see the £1 million
No,
question?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. What's your favourite card?
Oh,
Apart from
Invader.
Eliza.
Oh my god.
Conceptopolis. I like that name. I know it's definitely not A because they all have at least 2 names, I think, in the core set. I think they're all done by artists rather than like businesses.
Okay.
I wouldn't have. It would be a complete 1 in 3 guess on the other 3. Maybe D would have been my complete guess.
You actually ruled out the right answer first. It's Conceptopolis.
Really? Wow.
Oh,
Would never have got that. Never
no
have got it.
clue. Not a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Told you you weren't getting $1 million.
Yeah, I did on the same thing as Matt there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got,
So
got it in front of me.
nice one, Matt. Finish on 1,000.
Conceptopolis, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, quick to get that card out, weren't you?
Well, I've got the big inky box now over there, so
Well, yeah, because you're cheating, so you want to make sure you get them out quickly, don't you?